A startup called Tools for Humanity. If it looks all too dramatic, that's sort of the point. The backers of the company, which include Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, have put $250 million into this venture and want folks to take notice of their orb. This is because they want to use it to scan the irises of as many people around the world as possible, all as part of their main project, known as WorldCoin. If you allow WorldCoin to scan your iris, two things happen. You get a small chunk of the WorldCoin cryptocurrency, and you're certified as a real living human, which the company hopes will lead to a reduction in fraud on the internet and provide better access to banking and social services. Critics, however, are wary about the ethics of biometric collection and the possible exploitation of users from developing countries. The orb before you is made by a startup called Tools for Humanity. If it looks all too dramatic, that's sort of the point. The backers of the company, which include Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, have put $250 million into this venture and want folks to take notice of their orb. This is because they want to use it to scan the irises of as many people around the world as possible, all as part of their main project, known as WorldCoin. If you allow WorldCoin to scan your iris, two things happen. You get a small chunk of the WorldCoin cryptocurrency, and you're certified as a real living human, which the company hopes will lead to a reduction in fraud on the internet and provide better access to banking and social services. Critics, however, are wary about the ethics of biometric collection and the possible exploitation of users from developing countries.
All right, Shalom, Shalom.
Orb before you is made by a...
First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Karkadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. This is the brother Kratazah from the GMS Nebraska camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. This lesson being entitled the iris scanning orb and the world ID. All right, so we see that this company, Tools for Humanity, has come up with this eyeball scanner, as you can see. But I want to get a quick scripture real quick, because Esau always does this. He makes it seem like it's for your benefit, but really it's for his own selfish goals. All right. So this is the 1 Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right. So the peace and safety part is the company's name, Tools for Humanity. So let's get this word humanity. Humanity means kindness, graciousness, politeness, consideration for others. It's like, oh, we're considering you. No, you're not. You're trying to, as the scripture says, let me see. Second Habakkuk. Yeah. Habakkuk 2:5, it says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine," speaking of Esau, "he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied." Or he can't be satisfied. That's why he wants everyone to have this world ID. All right, just like they saying that you can't travel anymore on airplanes without the real ID. Well, this is the world ID. All right, it's going to replace that. All right, they said that this is going to be up and running by the end of 2025, 2026. All right, we got another video we're going to play, but let's just go with this right now. So it says he can't be satisfied, right? He wants the whole world to get this. It says, "But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And this is how he's heaping unto him all people. He's putting everyone under one banner. All right, he wants everyone to be one people under the guise of kindness, under the guise of um, politeness and care for life. But the whole time he's the devil. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the second video. Well, let's get this real quick. We know what it is. Revelation chapter 13 and um starting at 15, it says, "And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." Now, I'm not saying that this is the mark. This is not the mark. The mark is the RFID chip, which would be it's a physical mark that will go into your hand or into your forehead. But this is part of the image. This is part of them um, getting your data, okay, getting knowing because let's just play the other video, and it'll make a little bit more sense.
About Sam Altman's other startup, which is a biometric crypto project called WorldCoin. The basic premise of the company is that you use something called an orb to scan your eyeball and then verify that you're a real human. And in return, you receive something called a world ID as well as cryptocurrency. Its broader goal is to tackle the very real problem of proving that you're human in a world increasingly saturated with bots and AI. The project currently sits under Altman's other company, Tools for Humanity, and at its center is something called the Orb. It's this metallic spherical device that scans your iris and then converts it into a unique hash called an iris code. This hash acts as your world ID, which proves that you're a real and unique human. And they do this without storing any of your biometric images or linking your name or government ID, supposedly. In exchange, you also receive a crypto token called WorldCoin. So for example, during
You got to be a motherfucking fool to think that they're not linking all that information together, and that they're not selling this information to the government. All right, that's the whole purpose of having the one world order. All right, is to have total control, to have everyone under your thumb. And you think that this isn't going to, the private sector, that this isn't going to, the elites to use it against you? Come on.
their current US launch, users receive 16 world just for scanning their irises, and early registrants receive about 150 as a pioneer grant. The big idea here is that instead of logging into sites with your
And then the thing about this is, they got this little orb, okay? This isn't taking the mark. This isn't taking a needle and shooting the microchip into your hand. This isn't you going in for brain surgery and then putting a microchip into your head. All you got to do is look this little guy in the eye, and you get money on a Visa card. That's going to be something really big in a year and a half, 2 years. I'm getting in on the ground floor. It seems like it's harmless, but it's not. Is you linking into their system. You're going to need to have a world ID to make it in the New World Order. If you're not under their ID program, then you're not going to be able to benefit from any of the food, the universal basic income, which I think she's going to talk about that here in a little bit. But you have, this is part of the image. This is a part of the image.
Email and government in the future, you'd use your world ID to verify that you are a unique and verified human. And it's already currently being piloted.
And they're saying that, you need this because there's a lot of AI bots, a lot of, chat GPT type deals. And, you're going to have these robots that walk among us and things like that. And your real ID shows that you're a real human. This place got to go. This place has to go. The whole society is come to the point to where you have to identify that you're an actual person, and you're not, a fucking robot, a cyborg, or whatever you want to call it. Not really a cyborg, but just a robot. with skin on top. This place gotta go.
Across a bunch of different use cases. For example, Tinder in Japan is using it for identity and age verification so that it can combat bots and potential catfishing. They've already started building integrations with Stripe, Reddit, and Shopify. And apparently Visa is working with them to build a debit card to allow users to spend their WorldCoin like cash. The reason why we're seeing so much traction here is because as AI rapidly improves, so do chatbots get at impersonating humans. Deepfakes are clearly blurring the lines between real and synthetic media, and we all know that bots are flooding our social platforms and even our job portals. And unfortunately, our traditional verification methods like CAPTCHAs and emails just aren't doing it. They're increasingly getting easier to fake and impractical to scale globally. So WorldCoin's vision is that they can become the privacy-preserving, biometric-backed system that becomes the foundation of trust for the internet. Long-term, Sam Altman also kind of has a UBI vision around this. He sees WorldCoin as essentially becoming a vehicle for universal basic income. The thesis here is that AI displaces huge segments of the workforce, economic productivity will skyrocket, but wealth concentration may worsen. So WorldCoin is supposed to provide a recurring payment to every verified human, and this will be distributed globally through world IDs as well as world tokens. If you have proof of humanity, then you can have a digital wallet and then also receive crypto UBI. The big launch comes at a time when the Trump administration is particularly pro-crypto. So they're planning to launch 7,500 orbs across the US this year. However, in other countries like Hong Kong and Brazil, they've already restricted and banned WorldCoin over privacy issues. And within the US,
yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people who aren't down with this shit because of privacy issues. Because they say, well, we're not gonna share this to the government. You can't trust. I don't trust you. You know? And anyone with half a brain shouldn't trust you. But if you've seen the preview, look how many people was going through this and actually scanning their eye. And they said that they had millions of people who already signed up for this thing. It's just going to be that much easier to get them to take the mark. Just that much easier. This looks like the new cool thing to do. Oh, I got a world ID. Yeah, I can go anywhere in the world. Oh, they just gave me some money on a card. For a couple dollars, for $16, you did this. Not even 16 actual freaking dollars. 16 virtual dollars on a world ID card or on a Visa. Let's see if we can. ID to USD. One world ID is I can't even, not even, is way less than 1 cent. 50 world ID. How much? Let's get 1 cent. All right, hold up. See if we had a million. A million world ID is 63 cents right now. But this value is going to go up. And anybody who knows anything about cryptocurrency or anything like that, to someone in the world, this will be a good opportunity to get in on the ground floor. Because this is going to be big. This is going to be fucking huge. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. This is going to be amazingly big. So big that it's going to take over the whole world and make it one. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so right now, a million world ID is 63 cents. But in the very near future, a million world ID could very well be $1 million. We've seen where it's at right now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, and then 63 cents of a penny. So if you had 63 cents right now, you could buy 1 million of these Jones. Get it on the ground floor, and once the according to this, one world coin is worth $1.14. All right, well, This is the same freaking website. Well, hey, that's an update. That's just how much. At 7:02 a.m. Hey, I don't know. Let me see. Try to find another variable site. You know, it's different places tell you different things, but all we need to know is that it's going up. At one point, it probably was at this point. Maybe it's $1.14 now. Either way it goes, maybe this is a different one. No, it says WorldCoin. Oh no, it says how to swap WorldCoin. Okay, yeah, it is World. It's got to be WorldCoin. But hey, we coming into some times, man. No, we ain't gonna be here for no more 30 fucking years. This does not sound like 30 years. It's not sound like they're gonna wait 30 years to roll out the MOTB and we're gonna be in this system for 27 years. No, it's not gonna happen. All right, the times are speeding up. All right, I'm gonna let this finish playing, then we're gonna get a couple more scriptures. Hold up. This one.
The New York state actually prohibits its use due to biometric data laws. There's very naturally questions about surveillance. Could this biometric verification be misused in the future? And as we've seen with a lot of tech companies, promises made during early stages often change a lot when business models evolve. Is there a world where this starts as a privacy-first initiative, but then becomes a surveillance tool under new leadership or regulation? And then obviously a ton of questions around crypto and using tokens as incentives. Most notably, I think we have to talk about Sam Altman's almost ironic dual role here. The same person who's building the companies to help flood the internet with AI generated content is also selling the tools to distinguish reality from fiction. It's almost kind of like this closed loop.
Yeah, he's double dipping. He's playing both sides. That's what they always do. They always play both sides. He's flooding the internet with AI bots and then selling you the antidote to not be classified as AI.
Business model where one side creates the AI disruption and then the other profits from mitigating it. And critics are very validly worried about the concentration of power and influence that World ID has if it does become the default gatekeeper for online spaces. It's abundantly clear that as we do move towards this AI future, proof of personhood is critical. The big question, though, is who should ultimately own that proof? We have to talk about.
Right. So let's just get these last couple of scriptures. This is Genesis 11:1. It says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And and they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city." And that's very relevant because this idea of one world, one language, one religion, one currency, just the one world order or the new world order has been here since, the times of, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Because this guy Nimrod was Ham's grandson. So, this isn't a new concept. It's been propagated throughout the years, and we'll prove that. Which this is First Maccabees 1 and 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Right? This is the time of the Greeks. All right. A couple thousand years ahead of time, bro. Probably like 3,000-4,000 years from Genesis. It says that everyone should leave his laws, so that all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Right? Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Right? So this idea of a new world order is not new. And you had Jake who consented to his religion. You're going to have Jakes who consent to this iris scan, all right, who are ultimately going to take the MOTB. But like I said, this is part of the whole system to get you locked in. So that's all I really wanted to get into with this one, Lord's Word. This was edifying. And, y'all do some your own research and, just look out for it, because this is going to be something that's going down major this year, going into next year. You're going to see this, pretty soon being rolled out in mass production. So with that being said, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. Shalom.